Good day, it's March 12th and it's very cold outside in Ottawa still, and there's so much snow that my garden is completely covered and there's absolutely nothing I can do. I can't even get to the backyard because there's so much snow. I'm so anxious for it to be spring, but I have some ways to wait. So until then I thought I was like, okay, I need to make a video. It has been a long time. So I'm gonna introduce you to my indoor plants and tell you a little bit about how to have indoor plants in a house that has absolutely no south-facing windows in it, because my south-facing side is my semi-detached side, and I had struggled for years on trying to keep some plants alive, and I've kind of sort of figured out a balance now. So I'll go through all of them with you today, and then later today I'm going to be packing it in and heading on to Florida for March break, visit my folks down in Vero Beach. And then I'll have a little bit of sunshine. I mean, it's sunny out, but I'll have warmth with the sunshine, which makes a huge difference and impacts your mental health too. It's like, I need some sun. So yeah, until that, let me introduce you to some houseplants for a very shady house. So right at my kitchen window, I have just a snake plant because it's not quite low enough to get the sun, because I have this like little balance thing happening here, but it would only get the sun for like 30 minutes anyways in the morning. So I just put this little guy, and he's happy and he's cute and good. On this side, also doesn't get too much light, but indirect light a little bit from the afternoon. I did put it in a clear door during my renovations 2 years ago, and that helped bring in some light, but it's still not enough. So I do have some supplemental lighting here and up here, and it, you know, barely does the trick, but it's enough. They're not necessarily thriving because they still need more light, but it is working. So let's get closer to my spider plant. My spider plant has very thin leaves, and that's because, again, it just needs more sunlight, but it's doing just okay. It's got some browning spots. It looks like it's trying to produce babies, but then they just dry out in the end, so that it's just not healthy enough to produce those little spider babies that you see on spider plants. The only time it does that is when I take it outside in the summer to rejuvenate it with more light, and then I'll get like the larger leaf. Like this is from 2 summers ago. So every second summer I'll bring it outside to kind of rejuvenate the plant, and I'll cut off all the thin ones, and really large, thicker leaves will grow. And I just put it out on my deck or on my patio, and then that works out nice. I am in the middle of propagating some wandering dude. I don't remember the actual name of it. Transcendia. I think I'm like way off, but I don't know my indoor plant names, okay? So it's propagating well. I put it in water about 2-3 weeks ago, and it's probably time to pot it up because I can see little roots floating there in the water. And I just had it under here so it would get supplemental light. Okay, then I have this little plant holder, holds 4 little plants here, and I have a bunch of varieties. I usually pick up these tiny plants at the supermarket just when I'm getting my groceries. They don't have names. So I'm guessing this is a rubber plant of some type. I'm not sure, maybe someone in the comments recognizes it, but it's cute and thick and feels fake. And then this is propagated from the mother plant of the watermelon peperomia. You can probably see it better on this side. Yeah, so I'll show you the mom plant and you'll get a better sense of what it's supposed to look like. I propagated this coleus from, I took 2 cuttings from the hospital display back in October. They're on their way out, okay? So I was like, no one's gonna miss 2 little clippings. So I was just visiting someone in the hospital, and I'm like, oh, this is the coleus I want for my window planter out front. Maybe I can, you know, like make it survive over the winter. And sure enough, it's surviving. So I'm gonna take another cutting here and put that in some water and let it root, and then put it, because I think I needed 3 or 4 for the window planter. So I was an experiment. I just wanted to see if it would work. And it did. Okay, yay, yay, it works, even in darkness. This is a very sad looking English ivy, but it does the trick. I wanted, you know, I wanted them to meet. It took about 3 years for them to meet up with my other larger leaf English ivy right there. And then I'm going to train it just using pins in the wall to, you know, go up and around and all that kind of stuff, which I think looks really pretty until it's like too much, and then I'll have to stop. Like, I just haven't gotten to the part where it's too much yet. I kind of like it. I don't know. Yeah, this is my broom closet because there was no broom closet in this. So I just have one of those IKEA things. I know it's not the best, but close enough. Down here, another peperomia with dried out leaves because there's not enough humidity in this house. And jade plant is doing okay. It's just, they're all just doing okay. Like, I think this guy is loving life. I think he just has so many leaves that he picks up any light possible in this kitchen. So good for him. All right, moving on into the living space. I hardly had any light here. So just morning 6 a.m. light comes through, like the sun's like there. So it just like hits the floor here. It doesn't do much. But you know, and then I put in this door so that there was just more light, just brightness rather, not sunlight, but brightness. So this is a pothos plant, and it's variegated. It's really pretty close up. I've trained it to climb up its, oh wait, oh, there we go. Okay, so it's such a pretty two-tone kind of thing, right? Some full-on green and some yellow and green. I think that's really pretty. And I water it once a week, and basically sometimes I'll get like one random yellow leaf, and every time I see a yellow leaf, I'll just pick it off and throw it out, or compost it rather. And it does fine. It's doing great. I am gonna have to trim it eventually or train it to grow up and around here. I don't know if that's gonna be too much, but we'll see. This shouldn't even be here. It's from Christmas. Good for you. This is Canadian Tire. So yeah, it's got like a little fern, beautiful English ivy that I will put in the front planter as well, because that is hardy here. I don't know if this one's hardy here, but because it looks a little different, right? It's got the more yellow variegated instead of the white and green variegated. So I'm wondering if it will last, but I'm totally gonna put that in the planter outside on my window. And then of course, it's got this other plant that has purple leaves that I don't know what it is. I'll have to look that up. Maybe somebody knows. And of course, a little poinsettia that's still doing okay, shockingly. All right. And up here, another pothos, but it's just green this time. Don't know the variety name. Okay, a little cocoa bean. Say hi, cocoa bean. Yeah, okay. Just taking a nap. Oh, and then this is my little TV area. So I've got, what is this? Snake plant. Is that a Sansevieria? Is that what that's called? I don't know. I still don't know my houseplant names, but this is the peperomia that, I know it's called peperomia. Peperomia that is called watermelon variety, because it looks like a watermelon on the outside. It's supposed to look, this is like the perfect example. It's kind of almost perfectly round, and it doesn't have any dryness. It does have a little bit of brown on the back. And then on the inside, they're bright red. Love that. It's such a watermelon look, right? Now they're all curled, not all of them, but some of them are all curled and drying up because there's just not enough humidity in my house because it's so cold outside that the heat is pumping like crazy. And I could get a humidifier, and I have a humidifier, but it is so annoying to fill it with water every single day. It's a pain in the butt. So I'd rather just, you know, wait until there's natural humidity, I guess. Another pothos from the mother plant, which I haven't showed you yet. And this little guy here, you know, this little succulent, I don't know what kind of variety it is. It's kind of got a blue tinge to it. So this was an interesting story because it was looking really flat and the side ones here were drying out and just falling off. So what I did was I lifted it up out of its pot that it came in, and I soaked it in this white pot, like just with water, and just soaked it for, I don't know, like 20 minutes. And then after I put it back in, like a week later, this is what it did. It like rose up, like they're all lifted up. Maybe they're packed with water, I don't know. But this was like over a month ago, and it's still looking like this. And I have not soaked it since. So maybe like once a month I'll soak it, because I kind of like the way it's lifted. I like that look, you know? So anyways, we'll see. This is not very big, so this tour is gonna be real quick. I do not put any plants in my sewing room because there's just not enough light, and I don't want to buy any more artificial lighting. And there's absolutely no plants in my washroom because it doesn't even have a window. So what's the point? In my master bedroom, yeah, I have one plant. So this is a string of turtles, and it was really short when I bought it, like a year ago, and it has grown all the way down to there. And at the start, when I first got it, I noticed that it was shooting out some interesting looking flowers. Let's see if it has any. So I actually kind of got rid of the flowers because I wanted them to focus on their root development and to create like really long tendrils. I don't see any of the flowers. To show you an example, I just had to look a little harder. There are like 3 of them right here. So this is one. They're not like really pretty flowers or anything. So what I would do is I would just pinch them. I just pinch them off. And then apparently all the energy would go into roots and forming leaves instead of forming flowers and seeds. And that's it. But now that it's really long, I don't need to do that anymore. Like I'll just leave it because that's the length I like. So my spare bedroom is actually the room that has the most light. It has all afternoon sunlight that comes directly into the room and can directly touch the plants. So I'll start with this one. This is a croton that loves its life next to this window. It just keeps giving me an amazing show, and I've had to repot it twice since I got it many, many, many years ago. Like, I think like 6 years ago. As long as it's hanging in front of this window, it just keeps producing. And as long as I give it lots of water every Sunday, then it loves its life. If I miss a day or I'm like 3 days behind or something like that, it sends me a dead leaf and just drops it onto the ground. So it knows, it's like, you did not feed me, what the heck. And then on this side is the mother plant of my pothos, or pothos, pronunciation, and it's doing great. What do they call this? The devil's ivy, I think. And it does grow like a weed, and I'm gonna train it to go across there, obviously. And then down there I have just one last peperomia, watermelon peperonia, that again, I have all of these propagated for my friends. So once it's spring and it's safe to bring them outside, I will definitely share all my propagated plants with them, except for my coleus, which is meant for, oh, and the ivy, which is all meant for my planter outside. Now it's watering time. I've just poured lukewarm water in here because during winter time, they don't need really cold water. It's preferable to have lukewarm water. This gets like drops. the snake plant, it barely needs anything. And this gets 0 light. I'm pretty sure this pothos gets absolutely 0 light. Again, I don't know how to water these up. Like, there's just not a lot of openings for this. So I do that soak method instead for the succulent. But I don't do the soak method for the succulent every week. It's like once a month, if anything, because it doesn't need that much water. This one needs the most water. It loves water. Now, during the winter, I don't fertilize. I'll fertilize in the spring with just a spray fertilizer. I can show it to you. Little buddy right here. Oops. All done. I didn't water the string of turtles because it doesn't like being watered every week. It's like every second week for that one. And then if I was going to fertilize, like I will in the spring, I just use this indoor plant food. And I don't know, it says 1-1-1. I know people like to know the numbers or the ratios. So I just, you can pump it directly into your pot, or you can put it in the jug of water and it just follow the directions in the back. And I don't really know if it helps all that much, but they are staying alive. And when before I had supplemental lighting, they were dying a lot. Like I couldn't even keep a plant alive in this house except for the back rooms. So I think it's okay. I think I finally figured it out. For all the people at home who have dark, dark homes, this video was for you. It's possible to have lots of plants. You just have to figure out tricks. Okay, I will see you next time. Have a good rest of the winter and can't wait for the snow to melt. Cheers.